Okay, welcome back. In this video now, the second part of market research, we are going to look into primary research methods. But please do keep in mind this, as I already told you, that primary research is field research. This field research can be divided into two types. One is qualitative research. Now, what is qualitative research? Let's first talk about quantitative research, though I'll talk about qualitative later. Quantitative. What is quantitative research? In quantitative research, we find out about quantities that consumers prefer, that consumers may be willing to purchase. In qualitative research, what are the factors, what are the motivational factors which motivate a person towards a product? What is it about the product? Why? So in qualitative, we concentrate more on what and how much, and in qualitative we concentrate more on why a person purchases a particular product. So in order to get this information, there are various things that we have, various tools of finding the information. One is focus groups. What happens in a focus group, that we have a question, or we have a problem to focus on, and then we have questions related to that, which are put forward to members of a group, and they are free to talk. These in one member is free to talk to other group members, and these discussions, of course, these days, previously there was a lot of preparation that used to go into filming these discussions. Today, of course, filming is not a big deal, so it's not even, I don't know how much worth mentioning it is that it should be filmed, because these days anything, you just pick up your mobile and you start filming. So yeah, they are filmed and then they are studied later on. And this information is believed to be realistic, because when people are discussing, they're opening up to each other, they are opening their minds to one another, they are discussing their opinions. uh, they are different from questionnaires. Now, this is the analysis of it. Okay, they're different from questionnaires, they're different from individual interviews, because no one is leading them towards any answer. um, um, uh, so uh, Businesses use the information collected from focus group discussions a lot, and they do build them into the product that they develop. And one reason for that is that they normally believe that this is more objective than, let's say, from an interview or something else. Okay, so there are also drawbacks to this. Okay. Uh, it requires a lot of time to carry out a group discussion. Some members are more gregarious than others. Some members like to talk more than others, so their responses will become sort of more, they will dominate the discussion more. So these are a few things which you need to keep in mind when you're talking about this. The researcher can, at the end of the day, it is possible that the researcher can lead the workers, the researcher can lead the participants towards a certain conclusion. So you can write that in the evaluation to this. When we come to um, what you do, the qualitative side of it. In the qualitative side of it, let me write qualitative here. So in the qualitative side of it, what happens is that you carry out what is called observation. So observation, what is observation? The main thing in an observation is that you do not talk to the person from whom data is being collected. You just observe his behavior from a distance. So if you want to observe the behavior of a customer, you're going to stand in a shop and you're going to see what he demands. No question answers asked. Okay. Um, um, if people are aware that they're being watched, then please do keep in mind that people always modify and modulate their behavior if they know that they are being observed. Uh, the second is test marketing. What happens in test marketing? Um, a limited quantity of the product can be sold before a full national launch. You launch the product on a small scale to see how people are going to respond to it. Number three is consumer surveys. Now, consumer surveys is that's why we did not do interviews separately, because service is also like an interview. So you ask questions. Okay. Usually, the first questions are designed to obtain quantitative information, and later on, the questions are designed to find out qualitative information. How many holidays do you take? Quantitative. Why do you go to a certain destination? That's qualitative. Okay. In consumer surveys, there are certain things which are very important. You must know who to ask. Please remember there's something called validity. Validity means that the research must discover what it claims to discover. So if you're asking question from the wrong person, okay, you are doing research on, let's say, for example, you're doing research on popularity of chocolates among children, but you ask children as well as adults. That's not valid research. You don't know. You have not asked the right person. So who to ask, what to ask, the construction of the question is very important. It has to be unbiased, it has to be unambiguous, so that people know what answer they are required to give, how to ask. Okay. How to ask means, should the questionnaire be filled out there and then and returned? Will it be a face-to-face survey? Will it be an interview kind of survey? Or will it be something which you will fill out and you will send? These days it's easy. Previously you used to send things by post, fill out a questionnaire, send it back by post. It was a hassle for the person being surveyed. But now you can simply give them a questionnaire, and the moment they fill it out, they can press a button and you can receive it back using the power of the internet. And it has to be accurate. Okay, that's very important. If there is no accuracy, then everything can go haywire. Okay, so now when you are doing this kind of survey, it is very important that you make the right sample. Okay, that you make a good sampling. So there are sampling techniques which I will briefly look at. uh, so please keep in mind what a sample is. The sample is the group of people who are taking part in the market research. That is the sample. Okay. Then probability sampling. You see, there are two broad categories of sampling: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. So what is the probability sampling? Where there is when you are taking people from for the research, there's a chance for each person being interviewed. Okay, so there's a chance. It's not necessary that every person will be interviewed in it. The moment that chance appears, we call it probability sampling. Okay, so from the people who are being questioned, every person will not have the equal chance of being questioned. Okay, the whole target market cannot be questioned. There will be a certain chance that a certain person will be questioned. Then there is, within probability sampling, then there is simple random sampling. What is random sampling? Every person in the target population has an equal chance of being questioned, of being sampled, of being researched on. For it's just like if I put 100 balls in a box, and I close my eyes and I put my hand in the box, then every ball in the box has an equal chance of being selected. It's one upon 100. 100 balls are there, and I pick one. So one upon 100, everyone has an equal chance. So you make a list of all the people in the target population, and sequentially numbers are given to each of the members, and then a random number is then generated. Usually this is done by computer. Okay, then there is systematic sampling. Okay. What is systematic? Systematic means every nth number, nth, n, mn. So nth number, what do you mean by nth? You say, I'm going to ask a question to every ninth member of the population. So what do? I say one, two, three, four, five. So the first I've sampled, I'm not going to use the third one or the fourth. Now I'm going to see ninth, then 18th, then after that, uh, what is 9? 27, and so on. So, in systematic sampling, every nth member has the chance of being. So again, this is probabilistic. It's everyone doesn't have the chance of being questioned. Okay. In stratified sampling, it's very simple. In stratified sampling, there are groups which are called stratas. Okay, and then each strata is then sampled differently. Then there is quota sampling, similar to stratified. There are different stratas, but within the stratas, there are different proportions of people. Like you can say, within one strata, there is, let's say there's a college, and in the college there are the freshmen, and there are the sophomores, and there are the seniors. Now let's say we divide it into three stratas, but within each there are males and females. So the quota has to be made according to that. In each strata, you will say if there are 65% males, then you, out of 165 people you pick, will be males for the sampling, and the remaining will be the females. Okay. Then there is a cluster sampling. When the full sampling frame again simply means the people who are in the research, who will be researched on. The full claim is the full list is not available. Okay, usually this happens when the target population is very dispersed. So what do you do? So this is because it's in one town, so they are clustered in one town, so you cannot now go to the whole world and start sampling them. This cluster is not fully representative of the entire population, but nonetheless you sample them and you find out something about them which is useful. And then of course there is non-probability sampling. In non-probability sampling, one is called snowball sampling. In snowball sampling, what happens is that you ask one person, uh, 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 then he um, simply says that I refer you to this person. Okay, you are referred to another person. Then there's judgmental sampling. The researcher chooses the sample based on what would be appropriate, what according to him is appropriate to his study. In ad hoc sampling, a quota is established and researchers are told to choose any respondent they wish. So again, this is not scientific. This is not like that. This is an ad hoc system. Okay, so thank you very much for this, and I hope that this was useful. I will continue with this discussion in the next video. Thank you very much.